Right now we're walking to one of the most famous scenic overlooks in the entire world. To the left in the water, you can see Alcatraz, the island, and to the right, poking over the bushes, the famous Golden Gate Bridge here in San Francisco. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, baby ghoul? No wind?
Well, it's a little windy. We're on top of a mountain, but it's not as bad as, say, where we just came from. Not telling you where.
Wow, what a view. There's a fence here with a whole bunch of padlocks on it. But that's not what we came here for, is it? This is crazy. I never thought that I'd ever be able to visit this.
I didn't think it would smell as strongly like fish.
Right?
I mean, maybe if I was down close to the water, but not way up here.
This is beautiful, right?
It's fishy. It's lovely, yeah.
Look at that view.
Cliff.
That's crazy cool. I love it.
Beach.
Doing what we do, Jessica and I have definitely seen our share of scenic overlooks across the country. This one here, the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, has been on the top of my list for quite some time, and we can officially check it off. Now here's the thing. We're only in San Francisco for a couple hours, so we had to pick and choose what we wanted to do. And we chose one thing to do today. And did you know that the devil has an address? Well, he did here in San Francisco. All right, baby ghoul, you're the actor in the family. Let's see your best devil. I think that's perfect. You ready for this? Let's do it.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.
Is that the devil's house?
No, baby. That's from the TV show Full House.
Same thing, difference.
No, baby. That's not the devil's house. That's the house from Mrs. Doubtfire. Close, though.
Hello! Ah! Oh, I'm sorry to frighten you, dear. I must look like a yeti in this getup.
Well, that's more like it. Well, kinda. Right now I'm standing out front of 6118 California Street in San Francisco, California. Our main focus is this house right here. But that's not the original house that used to stand there. Instead, it was this Victorian-looking black house here in town. It was known as the Black House. It was where the Church of Satan officially started. Technically, the devil's address was 6114 California Street. But when they tore it down, they changed the address. It looks like the new building is 3 different apartments. I really wonder if the people who live there now know what used to stand on this property. See, that intrigues me. Now I realize some of you may already know and some of you may have no idea, but the Church of Satan really is a thing, and it started here in San Francisco, and the guy who founded it was a very interesting, very eccentric man by the name of Anton LaVey.
Don't be afraid. This is not a recruitment film for Satanism. You're either a real Satanist, a true Satanist, or not. And if you are, you were born that way.
Now, before I go any further, I do want to point out that this is not a video glorifying Satanism or teaching you about Satanism. All I'm doing is walking the streets here in San Francisco, talking about a piece of history, a very unusual piece of history that is technically no longer here. I will say this though, if after watching this you do decide to go down the rabbit hole of who Anton LaVey was, you're going to find a treasure trove of bizarre and interesting facts. A lot of them are fake. Anton LaVey himself has even said that he was the king, that he was a master of lies, kind of like the devil himself. Inside that house, he had a pet lion. He was friends with some famous people, including Sammy Davis Jr. and Jane Mansfield, both who were reportedly members of the Church of Satan. He had different masses and rituals that were going on inside this house. Now keep in mind, it was in the mid-60s and there was a bunch of people looking for very weird and very strange things. His religion, some even call it the LaVey Satanism, I think it is. A lot of his rituals had bare-breasted women. Oddly enough, after you weed through all the different stories, both whenever Anton LaVey was alive and even more so after he died, there's one bit of truth that is actually factual. Inside the house, the Black House, the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey's home, there was a very controversial baptism that happened. He baptized his 4-year-old daughter. There was a whole bunch of naked people and naked ladies present.
In nomine Satanae Lucifer Excelsis, in the name of our great God, Satan Lucifer, I command thee to come forth and bestow these blessings upon us. Bow down, I am the Emperor of Dreams. I crown me with the million-colored sun of secret worlds incredible, and take their trailing skies for vestment. When I soar, throned on the mounting zenith, and illume the spaceward flown horizons infinite. Like rampant monsters roaring for their glut, the fiery crested oceans rise and rise. By jealous moons maleficently urged to follow me forever.
It made news all over the world, and a lot of people were really pissed off. I was walking around for a little bit as we told the story. But this is where the Black House once stood. Now it's 6118, but back when Anton LaVey was here, it was 6114. Let me back up a little bit. There we go. Wild, right? It may not be good history, but it is history nonetheless.
The death certificate says Anton LaVey died on Halloween, and perhaps that is fitting for a man who became one of San Francisco's special characters after he founded his own so-called satanic church. There were nudes on the altar, a pet lion, and a house painted black. Bob McKenzie has our report.
Inside the infamous Black Victorian this morning, Anton LaVey was not only present in spirit, but in wax, on loan from the Wax Museum, and also on the mantle, where his ashes reside in a jar next to one of his favorite skulls.
Like I said, it may not be the best history, but it's history. And even though it's gone, I think it's important to just stop and acknowledge and tell the story. With that being said, thank you for joining us on another adventure. This time from the Devil's Address, 6114 California Street here in San Francisco, California. And as always, happy Halloween.
Wherever I come, bad luck is coming my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always coming my way.